Hi friends, Cassie here. Today we are going to talk about how to make your own wind chime using some recycled materials. Keep watching to find out how to make it yourself at home and make sure you register to sign up to get a craft kit. Have a nice day. In your craft kit, you're going to have all of the beading and string supplies you'll need to create your wind chime. I've already started making some of our strings and I've separated some of our pieces and materials. So you'll have straws that you're going to cut up into smaller pieces. For the most part, I stuck to similar sizes. I do have a couple that are smaller, a couple that are bigger. You're going to have some pony beads in different colors, some wood beads in different colors and sizes. You'll have 4 buttons, and you'll have a bell and a keychain hook. And here is the water bottle that is spray painted yellow, and I've already colored on it with some markers with some designs. If you have markers at home, you know, it adds a nice little touch, but if you don't, it still looks pretty cool, just yellow, so don't worry about that. So let's go over how you're going to make your 4 strands for the wind chime. So I have 4 holes already cut into the water bottle, and each one you're going to tie one of these strings. And let's make one so you can see kind of the steps. Just figuring. Okay. So what you want to do first is you want to put your button on at the end. So I'm going to hook this through, and I'm just going to knot this right at the end over here. You want to make sure you do probably 2 knots just so it's nice and sturdy. Oh, it's a little tricky. All right, so I have 1, and then I have my 2nd knot. And the cool thing about this is that since we're going to be putting beads, I don't have to worry about cutting this extra string right here. I'm just going to kind of feed it through when I'm putting my beads on. So I wanted my strands to be a little uniform, so they all had a similar length and look to them. So see, I did 2 beads on the bottom, a straw, some more beads, a straw, and then right towards the top middle, you'll see I have a group of bigger wood beads, and that's because that's where we're going to have the center piece go through, and the bell's going to be able to hit those wood beads and make it sound even louder, which is what I like. So I'm going to get started. You're just going to feed your pony beads through, and once you get to the bottom here, you're just going to make sure that this extra piece goes under those beads like so, and then it'll fit right down there. I'm going to do a second one, and again, just make sure that that strand goes through. And I like to kind of try to keep the strand down on the table so my beads don't go flying when I'm putting it together. If you have a second set of hands doing this with you, that'll be extra helpful. So I'm just gonna keep threading these beads in here. So I'm gonna do, oh, and they're a little tricky. They like to fly away on you. These 3. Oh. We'll do another straw. And then I just want to make sure it's kind of lining up how I thought it would. So I'm getting towards the part where I'm going to need some bigger beads. So I'm going to do a couple smaller ones. Oh. And then I'm going to do my bigger wooden beads right next. So they'll all be kind of lined up once they're tied onto the water bottle. See how they're lining up right there? And then I'm just gonna add a few more beads, maybe another straw, and then finish these out. So in your supplies, you might have some extra beads, you'll probably have some extra pieces of straw. That's fine. Don't feel the need to use everything that you're given, just because it might, you know, you don't want it to be too long because it's gonna weigh down your bottle. So now I have my all 4 strands. They're all about the same length and beading right over here. And these are what's gonna be tied around our edges. I'm gonna put these to the side for now though, and talk about our middle piece. So this is where we want our bell to hang. So you're gonna take your bell and we're gonna tie it on here. And again, you're gonna wanna just do a few knots so that it's nice and sturdy. I'm trying to go a little slow so you don't hear just jingling all the time. So we're gonna do a few knots here. Oh, okay, I think that's good. All right, and then for the bell, I don't want so many beads. I have more straw because I kind of want it to be a nice stiff piece. I don't want it to be too heavy with the beads, and I want it to be kind of more like if it was a straight stick, except a little more fancy with our colorful straws. So I have a bigger piece of straw that I cut. A couple more beads. A couple more. And then maybe another straw. And maybe another. This was tied right here. Be about so long, because I want to make sure that the bell is gonna hit these big wooden beads. And then if I had this tied up over here, so now I'm gonna tie it right above here so that when I put it through my centerpiece, I don't have, you know, it won't go any further than that. It'll stay, you'll see when I do it. It's kind of hard to explain right here. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this and I need to carefully thread it through. So that's why you have an extra long piece right here. And I do have a hole in the center down there. You're gonna thread it through like so, and then pull until you can't anymore. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a bead at the top over here to help keep it stable in here. And then I'm going to knot it. And then I need to tie it to my keychain ring. And this just kind of makes it easier for it to be hung up somewhere. You know, if you're hanging it outside, this just gives you a little hoop to hang it onto a branch. And I'm going to tie this quite a few times, knot it a few times. I'm leaving probably about 3 inches length, just so it gives my wind chime some more height. Okay, so there's my 1 knot. 2, and I'm gonna do a 3rd just in case. All right, you can always cut this. I like to leave the little extra just in case I need to go back in and, you know, make some more knots in the meantime. Okay, so I have my centerpiece, and now all you need to do is tie your 4 strands into these holes. So I'm gonna do that and then show you our final product. Okay, I have my last string to tie. And this is kind of the tricky part. So this is why you want to make sure you leave at least a good 3 to 4 inches at the end so that you have plenty of space to tie it on. So I just looped it through. I want to try to get it as close to the bead as possible, so I'm kind of just pulling it up. And you definitely want to double knot this. So I'm just gonna carefully do a second knot, and then just trim my extra. And there we go. Our wind chime is complete. Let me zoom out and I'll show you the final product. And here we go. Here is our final product, our fun little wind chime. I hope you had fun. Enjoy.